Watch Raw 7 pathetic defeat at the South Tao Sword. It doesn't make you remember long. It's only been a few years. You have forgotten his warning. I told you. Who stepped out of the sword, Nam Tao killed not spared. Middle 9 took down the mask laughing cold watching the speaker Kier. The story of the serious disappearance of Hoa besieged in Liacheng. Lin has spread throughout the southern way and long right-way swords. Can he survive out of the city? Whether or not it is still unclear. Why do we have to limit ourselves? Because of the words of a dying man. He looked at the enemy in a cold voice. I see you are the one who is going to die. Laughing, don't be so angry. He pointed at the back. You have to think carefully. The temple behind me. It is the burial place of a king. Somewhere in the world outside of my ILO. The killer of this king. And the people in it. You can join in killing the king. I'm afraid no one knows how to get in or out of this place anymore. If I die, you'll be trapped here. Buried with me. Move the scene outside. After the Trong people disappeared, not in a hurry to continue. Stand there, staring at the enemy. The coin mask on the face of the unknown. Is the wisdom of the left. After putting on the Kier coin mask, it is impossible to remove it normally. The wearer will gradually become a dry corpse within 15 minutes. Their accumulated energy, while they're alive, it will turn into gas. When this man met the Prince of the Kingdom, National Pillar or the first Thai fairy, this mask will fall off on its own. Who wore it before will be temporarily elevated to a level. The Tibetan king also noticed something unusual. Quickly raise a long reminder. The coin mask on this zombie face is a little special. It can be used to nourish the body and heal it. Be careful for a long time. It is hard to understand. Close is SAO. Tibetan king quickly explained. Help you solve your doubts, or it's a method of feeding the body. They can turn good into evil and vice versa. In general, the power of this zombie has been evil spirits. The seal will not change, but the evil spirit on him. They'll slowly diminish. If the gas finally runs out, if the body is exhausted, the body will become a great leader. From here, it becomes the real thing. But if you voluntarily give up the manhunt, or broken by external forces, will be completely reduced to a phantom head. The path to self-realization breaks off from here. It can't be resumed forever. While the organ preached for a long time, the anonymous agent took down the mask. He is quick, transition from the state of flight to the soul. The power he received was to provoke the heavens. Immortal body without heaven and earth. Immune to the damage of 5 onions. And the ability to control zombies. The organ saw the deadly gas on him. Hurry up and remind for a long time. Let's use fire. To fight quickly. Clearly, this zombie is following the wrong path. It's based on the gas buildup of the coin mask. To trigger the momentary effect of rising to a level. And now it can threaten you. Long without hesitation, immediately call out Red Union fire. And then she pointed it at the body. Invisible mechanism on the opposite side, looking at her extremely crazy. I want to drain your blood. To stabilize our world. Then start. The Devil Transit Calamity to San by opening. You don't have to worry about that in laser school. Because before it happens, you have become Cho. As soon as Lo finished speaking, the unknown mechanism disappeared in place. I saw the enemy fall to the ground. Organ quick reminder. Put all your energy into the office. At this soul stage, zombies have the ability to fly. Don't let it drag you to the ground. Long quick swinging up. Then plummet into the ground. Combined with Red Union fire, you are immediately full of power. Move the scene back to the city. When I heard everything, I woke up. Stroking the beard. If that's the case, then everything is fine. It's not strange when the speed of the invasions of this world's martyrs. The tower is slower than we expected. It's no wonder the capital has great confidence. Defeat the enemy in the second battle. It turns out that there's another force in his place, balancing the tower. I see the devil standing there. I thought I kept talking, even more so in the next battle. For all the living beings in this world, the heir to the will of the Kier founding emperor, I will definitely go to the battlefield. I will fight too, like the right arm of this monarch. He knelt and stared at him. So you're here. It's to be a supporter for the exam of Cao Thang. I can't believe there is no objection. That's right, I think, compared to my former employer. This man is more human. If chosen, I'd rather be the heir to Gao's will. People who sacrifice themselves and the happiness of his descendants for the benefit of all living beings in this world. It's more than a man with an idea. Let me carry the world. Yeah, we cannot let the world carry the false leader to life and death. I sat on my knees for a moment and then said, but deciding the fate of this heavenly realm, the moral defects, it doesn't make any sense at all. As opposed to people who have a lot of moral fiber, is the opposite. There will be many disadvantages in the war. Level rows bear first. It is very easy for the enemy to grasp and intimidate. Do you also understand this, right? I thought calmly about this, of course. I know it very well, but I can feel it. Even though it's been this bad, but accepted Gao's exam, it's still based on something. To stick to your moral compass. I'm afraid Gao Sheng has prepared for the successor of his will. A card strong enough to turn the tide. Move the scene back to the old place. When she was finished, she asked. Organ has not been able to ask. A zombie's hand came out of the ground. Hit her quickly, jump out after dodge. Then continue with my question. I've wanted to ask you this for a long time. There are 8 fires. But the damage rose. Your fire is so normal. The organ is extremely angry to hear that. That's because the Red Cross needs to be combined with the Red Cross. Only then can it exert its full power. Momentary. I don't know how to explain it to you. Organs quickly take control of the body for a long time. We only performed once. Remember how we use it. When he finished, his body disappeared in place. A blink of an eye appeared behind the back of the unknown. 2 hands clenched the sword on his back. Her speed is too fast. An anonymous agent did not have time to react. According to the Tibetan king when developing Ra through you, the 2 of them were immediately transported to the underworld. He just pulled the sword out of me. Unknown has said for a long time. You remember what I said. While I use your body, fighting in the city, our fire engine has been repaired. That's why criminals are punished. Earning industry. That's 3,755 in a day. Based on this basis, the higher the poor man up there, the greater the level of pain you will experience. While we're talking here, the mind of this zombie must have been paralyzed, overwhelmed by loneliness. There's endless fear and pain. Now, even if we cut it to pieces, chop it up and scatter its bones right in front of it, it won't resist either. When she finished, her face wrinkled. A dagger down to finish off the enemy. After a while, the Lord returned to his former position. Above the sky. It's been a long time coming. You can return your body to me now. The king of Tibet just reclaimed the school and replied, maybe it's possible. But you know where to go. Find 2 of my missing men. Long confused, I don't know. God is laughing so cold. Then you ask me for help again. In this case, why do you have such trouble? Move the scene to the space death forest, hell of Trung 9. After he spoke for a while, then Zhang Zhuo shouted angrily. What the hell are you thinking about? If I don't kill you, then we can get out. Chinese 9 quickly put on a 7-color mask again. 7 failed negotiations SAO. Maybe Ra, you can live a little longer. But you are so stubborn. Then let's die. He was wearing a mask. Dry bodies lying on the ground. Immediately stand up. The two of you are startled by that. Then, without hesitation, go back, after extending the distance with the dry carcass. Middle 9 saw that, a little applauded. It's quite sensitive. But where can you hide? Souls are locked up here. I like to drag people into the water, play with them at the same time. Outside, the Tibetan king is still closing his eyes. Induction of surrounding situation. I am a little anxious to ask you if you are done. The Tibetan king saw her screaming forever. Then he shouted angrily. Not that fast. Although the enemy method. Take away your servant. It's almost like my pine. But where they're going is a little bit special. Even if I want to find it, it's a little difficult. Inside Death Forest. Both of you are currently being dry cleaned. Run away like a son of a bitch. I am very suspicious of both running and running. Why does this forest bury so many people? Where are we going? There are also bodies from the ground. He said, it's not amazing. If only you had known how to get in and out of this place. Then they turn this place around. Into a farm that nurtures their bodies. Not very reasonable SAO. He just finished. Middle 9 comes out from behind a tree. You can eat badly, but you can't say shit. The two men saw the enemy suddenly appear. Roadblocks are extremely confusing. Middle 9 doesn't pay much attention to their behavior. Keep talking about these bodies. I am much older than you. At the same time, in another place inside the forest. Organ has used pine to enter here. She looked around and woke up. Rao is like that. No wonder it's so difficult to locate here. And death around this neck. It's probably the leftover debris of a small celestial world. But for some reason, it's not yet assimilated by your world. That's why there's this region of space. When I heard that, I was terrified. Fragments of the world SAO. Waiting for the world that can also be destroyed SAO. The organ casually replied. That's right, except for religion. Nothing in this world can last forever. But normally, the fragments of the world will be integrated with the world. Have a similar structure. And it's closest to it. This place can be preserved without being incorporated to this day. There must be a great secret behind it. Not too long. She knows the secret in her mouth. Hurry to remind. I think we should find two. Steady and caring. Confirm their safety first. And then, let's investigate and compare these later. Two people are serious and caring. It is now dry surrounded. Watch the dry bodies around. Doubting or uttering. It's really strange that these bodies. Take one and bring it out. Also get a level power. An army with such a formidable background. At SAO the dynasties, it's not recorded in the history books. Yangsup replied, maybe it's because of that. Before he could finish, he interrupted. Look up at the sky. When I heard that, I looked up. In the sky, red fire associated with the is being developed by the Tibetan King Ra. It's constantly expanding, covering this space. See pink interindustrial fire, excited to say out. The fire of the old man. He's done with the Kier zombie. And came looking for us. 9 on one side is extremely scary. The Great Elder was defeated SAO. How can this be possible? Immortal body characteristics. It's also immune to the damage caused by 5 things. The soul of that day. It is reasonable to say that the new Zhou Duke will be dealt with in every way. More than even myself. It also depends on the mask. We can locate this place. Shi, how is it that, in such a short period of time? Find out. While he's 7 gods, the organ jumped behind him. Just landed, she screamed at the 2 men. You 2 jump up the tree. The 9-year-old is horrified to hear her voice. Turn your head and look back. Just turned around. It was blown red by the organ. Fire straight to the face. It doesn't stop there. The fire continues to burn out. Burn the forest behind the enemy. The 2 of them jumped on a tree. Standing officer. A compressed incense. It was only after the fire that the organ recovered. Your body is in control for a long time. Middle 9 has also been burned into a dry skeleton. Only the mask is intact. Organ quick reminder. Help me take down the mask on his face. He quickly went to take down the mask. I'm a little unsure about the organ that looks at this mask. Speaking out seems. This is the mask of the Lord of the Forest. This dead body, but is this possible? He's a survivor of the last great circle. Why did his mask appear here again? It's even damaged. It doesn't even count as a form of religion anymore. The other 2 are running to the side right now. Lord, you are not good. Move the scene towards the city. At this point, I thought the same. Back to the world. His royal statue. He is also rapidly transforming into a new king. On my knees, I thought. Let's be clear first. I haven't agreed to join you yet. I'm just a little interested in Kier. That you're talking about. That's all I thought, laughing. I get it. I want to talk more about the name of the Kier. I'm not sure about your squad. I want to go with you. Thought out of the sleeve, take out a spindle. I can't do this myself. Let's make a decision like this. I'm taking you to see the martyr monk. By God's grace. You and he talk to each other. The devil nodded. Maybe. After a while on the 3rd floor of the open sky, Lao. A spindle that suddenly appears. SA executors are clearing the chessboard. Doubt or look. You 2 thought the same. The devil quickly comes out from the inside. I thought I'd quickly go to the police station. Where are you? He said, looking at him. He's resting. Wait, what are you doing? Your Majesty only requested you escorted the king to the castle. I didn't ask you to take that guy back. I quickly raised my hand to explain. Don't get so excited. Let me introduce you a little bit first. This man is a blessed saint. Famous in the world. The 4th Reich of the Demon Lord. When I brought the new king to the castle. Take office, I found out it was him in the castle. Temporarily take over the position of God. To guard the demons in the city. After we had a brief exchange. About the world situation. He's worried about how you're going to beat him. Because preparation is not enough, I want to join you from a distance. Thought for a moment, then replied. Okay, this time forget it. The same thing shouldn't happen next time. The devil next to me asked. Where is the God-given man you say you are? I thought I was going to go up and look up. If the devil hears that, go in the direction. His hands just looked up. Above is Gao's coffin. Move the scene back to the dead. After handling everything. I have been following you for a long time now. Go to the temple in the center. Go out of the low. Turn around and give it to the two of them. Just stand outside the door and watch. You don't ask much either. Immediately stand outside and watch, looking slowly into the temple. The new sojourn exclaimed. This time it's really dangerous. It's hard to understand, to look at him. Quick response. If you really need a half-legged rhinoceros, enter the spirit world. And the bodies are available in this place. Then it's very likely to cause a cross-border carcass disaster. Explain that a zombie is a kind of person. They followed a relatively rare path of cultivation. It's the harvest of sunflowers. To achieve enlightenment, mainly sleeping under the ground, can last for thousands of years and immortality. Even the 5 highest religious leaders in Kaifeng, because of the binding of the old oath. I can't help but act to crack down on this wave of cross-border zombies, but that the court will lose its face. Move the scene back to Tianlao. The police officer now brought tea. Welcome the people on their knees. I thought I saw him ask, "How long will it take you to wake up?" He poured tea and replied, "I don't know if I woke up too long this time. We don't know how much time it takes. Can neutralize all of that mental pollution." Inside Gao Sheng's coffin is quietly sleeping. In his head right now, there's a constant call. Come to hell and find me. We are at the bridge. Come to hell and find me. I'm at the bridge. After a moment, the sounds. Call Kier was pressed by him. Open your eyes again. Then quickly raise your hand and open the lid of the coffin. Then jump off immediately. Appeared in front of people. He looked at the devil suspiciously, or asked, "This is an SA execution. Quickly point the direction, Chang Demon World Theo. He's the middle devil. That's the devil that I mentioned earlier, who helped us temporarily take over the city. He wants to join the team, punish our lost way." When he heard that, he immediately fell into deep thought. Move the scene to the Thai side. 10 good people are sitting outside the yard talking about. He asked if he wanted me to go to the zoo. I'm there to help you take the Kier test. How to copy the economic that it carved in the cave of Din San Sao. 10 good nods yes, I asked the capital. But it won't let me go. So I can only ask for your help. Down, you can stroke your chin. But when it comes to copying, we're stumbling. We can't do this. I will ask your partner to help you. 10 good hearing, so excited to see it. Really thank you very much yes. Now let him down from the house. What are you all talking about here? 10 good people saw him and were glad to stand up. Your eye is gone. He scratched his head and smiled. He's gone, even though he shares his body with me. You are very strong, but Tai-san, the king of the field, we are also NDTO. It's just blinding me a little bit. If I shake my hand, it will heal. This time, the wind suddenly appeared next to him. Ridicule. It's like that. Why is it that when you are blind, you do not heal yourself on the spot, but run away in a hurry? Before he finished speaking, the servant shouted angrily, "You shut up." The city doesn't pay attention to him. That quickly flew to the front. 10 good, you blind boy, you have seen it. The speed of merging with past life memories, and the increase of your sister's power. It's actually a lot faster than we expected. This may give her more strength though, to get through adult life. But its downsides are also obvious. If you keep going like this, having absorbed a large amount of past life memories, is she still your sister? 10 thoughts for a moment. Then look up and see what you mean. The couple quickly said their intentions. In the battle at the ceremony, who has single-handedly confronted us directly, is the king of the underworld that we've talked about before. Even though he's a king, level up quickly, but the power he holds, enough to help your sister solve most of the woes of adult life. Only if you have such power, you can negotiate with the big guy. It is in your body. We have a way can help you. He quickly became the king of the underworld. But this will also cost us. It's losing an ace of your own. I arranged for myself. Make it up to the world for me to help you. I want you to swear to God that you will be my God. Then do your best to help me. To win the battle. Bridge if needed. You need to go against your own interests. 10 good without any reason. I can help you, but when I help you, you can't get my sister involved. He looked at 10 people in one corner. Too small negotiate. His face couldn't hold back. It was grim. Alas, 10 benevolent. My brother is a poor child. Move the scene back to a moment ago, when 2 people share the same coin. From the place of the great music of the East. As soon as he came out, he reminded him. Don't you mess with me. He looked at him and asked him what he was going to do. The wind replied, the devil is not here right now. They helped 10 good people confirm his sister's whereabouts, and was betrayed by 3. If you make good use of these 2 points, we can make our containers to give up that inefficient way of accumulating merit. As soon as he becomes king of the underworld, then we can start to reopen the battle of the bridge. The sooner, he laughed. You do this without fear. Wait until the devil comes back. He will become your enemy. The wind replied, they are not afraid of the enemy. Move the scene back to the present. 10 people are raising their hands to the sky and start swearing. We are the 10 witnesses of heaven and earth. If the capital helps us achieve King Yin Ti, I will wholeheartedly help him to win the battle of Naya Bridge. The city next door is the same. I am the capital. Take heaven and earth as witness, if you keep your promise. I will help his sister. We get through the disaster safely. Grow up without having to be afraid of anything. I stand in front of you too, holding up a roll of white paper, after the 10-year-old swears. Then, on the paper, came the words they said. He looked at the photograph for a moment and then said, okay, 10 good things, just breathe out now. Style turning head, look 10 benevolent. Our oath has been confirmed by heaven and earth. The trader of words will be cut off by heaven and earth. From here, the airflow will be cut off. It is not easy to do anything. If you don't want to end up like that. Before he finished speaking, 10 good people interrupted him. I'm pretty sure I won't break my oath. You should worry about the wind. She replied, of course, I won tea. The current state is lying. In fact, he's prepared his way back. You can break your vow, but it can be significantly reduced. God's punishment for him. After talking for a while, I remembered. Yes, go to rest quickly. Follow my method after tonight. You can gather enough merit for the wrong sound. Next is the sound. We'll be very busy then. I need you. We have to complete the road within a month. 10 good nods. Okay. Then he turned his head and looked down at the cow. It's not far away. Direction, it says small. Don't forget what you promised me. The fisherman nodded seriously. Very quickly, the darkness fell over the top of Tai Sun. As usual, souls throughout Hanem Tao are still flowing here. 10 good people with 2 people down to Niu and Snake, standing on the top of the mountain watching. The dead quickly went to the top of the mountain, then slowly enter into the fall sound. The order of 10 good. 10 good people standing in a depressed place. I really feel very. It's annoying to just stand here. Is that it's possible to achieve accumulation. That other size have to go through 15 rows. Running around the world working newly achieved. You see, this world is what it is. Dross oozing from the fingers of big characters. It's the precious things that ordinary people have. Even if it's steep all your life, you can't keep up. Working for great characters will definitely be more favorable. Working hard on yourself, but that advantage also comes at a price. It will make us. You can't control your own destiny. Right now, there was a servant with a book. The work you asked me to do is done. You told me to write in the cave. It's for this boy, isn't it? 10 good spirits say, yes, it's right for me. He gave the book for 10 good. Then you owe me a favor. At the same time, beneath the deepest level of evil, we just went through a massacre again. Surrounded by the body of the wrong man. It's full of soil. He goes to sit across from the suspect, or says, Sao even at the deepest level of Udo. Also began to appear many thorny monsters. This is disgusting Vu. Do you think there's something going on in hell? Blood retention. Dance floor no answer. Right now, 10 good things to bring the book. The servant brought Cho down. 2 evil people are talking. The touch is unusual. I turned my head back to see 10 good questions. This kid is here again. It's not practicing. With the king of another world. 10 people walked up to them, scratching their heads and smiling. I have something to ask for your help. The 2 dancers immediately asked, what do you want to do this time? 10 goodness quick, discard no hand. This time, it's not a fight. It's because of something else at the top. Servant, the 2 eyes are out now. He stared at the body 10 benevolent, sitting flat in front. User the power of Udo seeds. Where the hell did you pick this up? Lord of the Earth. It hasn't been missing for years. Sao, there are still people who can get the seeds of hell. He looked down and laughed. You guess. Beneath the evil underworld lie. Right now, I'm looking at the 10 books. Just watching and constantly training. After a while he spoke. You want us to help you finish it. But this method, once completed, it is at level 2. Who trained it? It's not like we learn martial arts. 10 smile kindness. Just accept the trust of others. I'm not sure if I really practice this technique. Dance look 10 good question. The 4 blessings. The Lord God is still with you. 10 people turned their heads to look at him. You mean the devil, right? He's in the citadel helping guard the devil's mandarin. My husband and I are currently in Thailand. If you listen to that, seriously look at the 10 virtues. Do you want to practice with me? And learn real skills. Not to be influenced by others. And to be the master of your own destiny. 10 good to hear that. His face immediately became serious. Move the scene to the other side. It was long ago inside the temple. Inside Death Forest. Just came in. The sound of the organ's excitement echoed. This is definitely mindless. Willow growing into shade, haha. Our original purpose was to come to this 2414 world. I just want to observe. Not expect. I found a clue about the owner. Who disappeared nearly 1,000 years ago. Long heard that, doubtful. The owner of the contest is Sao. Organ quickly explained. Owner of Da Lam contest. It's an extremely ancient pair of gods. They are the survivors. After the last Great War. They are very famous in our world. It's amazing how powerful an ancient existence is. But it also collapsed. When you hear that, give an opinion. Sounds like behind the fall of this Ming god. Hiding a horrible conspiracy someone. Organ agreed to answer. It's likely that that's the case. Go to the Kier and see the painting on the Kier wall. It may correspond to the last years of the owner's life. Maybe in the forest we are. Maybe we can find a clue to his downfall. It's been a long time coming. Looking up at the painting on the wall. I have not understood it all for a long time. But the organ was suddenly extremely agitated. Control the body for a long time. Immediately seized by him. Rao is like that. It turns out that in the middle of the last round of the Great Leap Forward, before that, the owner of the temple has become the leader of 3. Human body and core, but because of the domination and oppression of the 2 great Kier. So they haven't yet combined birth and death. After the war for the great Tao ended, owner of Da Lam contest tried to secretly unite the religions. They were discovered for a long time. When I saw him suddenly act like that, I was angry. Why didn't you say anything? They suddenly take over my body. Turn the scene to the devil. After the glass melts, there are 2 people outside in front of you. Jiang Master, what's wrong with your boss looking for us? This horned man is the Dragon King under the well. Is the god of wells, specialized in monitoring the pollution of groundwater. He is also a god, worshipped by plumbers. The name next to him is General. It's a water god who helps people fall into the water. He is also the god that fishermen worship. The teacher sat down and nodded. That is right, the enemy has long been coming. Opening attack. I need you to get to the highway quickly. If only China could fight. On par with the opponent. 2 people help him to drive out the enemy. But if he loses in 2 or 3 rounds, even rely on the devil's blood, there is still a risk of death. Then don't interfere. Remember that guy's face and retreat back. Can you hear me? You 2 immediately clasped your hands together. Understand, Master Jiang waving his hands. Then go quickly. The 2 of you after leaving the room. Many generals can't help but say Ra. The owner has been injured recently. After a long time to settle down in Lu Shou. It's not very often that the enemy comes to Sao. So many people this time. The Dragon King glanced at him. It's not what the owner said. The enemy this time came from the front. Civil war between 10 tribes in the world is happening. Owner war. It's only natural to be a little careful. Even if you have cold teeth, you understand. Many generals are full of doubt. As long as the bar has a home court advantage. Even if they fail. Weaker than before. And slightly weaker than the competition. It's not going to be that easy to kill. According to me, it's because the owner collected the remnants of Kier. Worried, the devil gave me an excuse. The Dragon King quickly stopped him. Try to speak carefully. They said they went to a well. Long Wang went to the mouth of the well. I'll follow you in the back. The general nodded. The Dragon King immediately jumped into the well. There's enough of them underneath the well. 2 people swimming as fast as a buffalo. Coming very fast. They came from inside another well. On the way out. When he came out, the general asked, "How long does it take to run from here to the blood?" The Dragon King replied quickly, "If used at all, about 10 minutes. Suddenly, there's a 7-colored light flashing through their heads. Many terrified generals uttered Len. I didn't see it wrong. Long Vong replied, I don't see it wrong, it's a ghost. I remember a long time ago, a few years ago, received the ghost of dissolving Dafa.